We've seen uniform acceleration cams, modified uniform acceleration cams, harmonic motion cams, and now I want to show you parabolic motion cams. Each one of them just making for a slightly smoother movement for the follower to work with. What we're going to do here is instead of dividing our motion up equally like we did with the first one, or modifying just the starting and the stopping like we did with the second one, or changing that by changing the time frame, so to speak, by kind of bulging this out instead of going straight vertically like we did with harmonic. What we're going to do is divide this line up by what I call the rule of squares. We're going to go over 1 and up 1. And then we're going to go over 2 and up the square of 2. And then we're going to go over 3 and up the square of 3. And so we're kind of modifying or really smoothing out that motion as we rise. And then already right here, halfway through that rise, we're going to start slowing down and preparing for the fall. So we're going to kind of flip it around the other way also and kind of come in 1 and down 1 and in 2 and down 4 and in 3 and down 9, just like we did. We'll actually be there already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this up by 18, which is 2 times the square of 3, because I've got 6 divisions between 0 degrees and 180 degrees. So I'm going to use my divide command and divide this by 18. And now I'll zoom in here a little ways, and I keep forgetting to change my layer, and that's not a big deal. But I will put these objects, oops, what happened to my quick properties button? Oh well, I'll just go up here and change the layer to construction 6 for all of those objects. And now I'll come down here and I'll copy this node, which is the first one, over to our first increment at 30 degrees. And now I'll copy the fourth one from here to the second one. And then I'll copy the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or the square of 3 to the third one. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is take those 3 and, or let's just put it this way instead, not these 3, but these 2, and put them up here. Now I could, well, I'll do it that way, in fact. Never mind. What I'll do is I'll copy the first one down and bring it over to 1 over from our 180 degree point. And then I'll copy the fourth one down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring it over to our second one in from the 180 degree point. And then I'll mirror those points around the halfway point. And I'll connect all of these with the spline tool. So that we map out our motion here, which is now parabolic, or referred to as parabolic rather than harmonic, although they look quite similar, just like accelerated motion or uniform accelerated motion and modified uniform accelerated motion look very similar. So does harmonic, and parabolic. If we kind of zoom out and look at this compared to that, not a whole lot difference, but that does change ever so slightly. And now we'll apply that curve to our tool over here. I'll do to our cam profile. I will array this polarly. $12 times and get out of there. And excuse me, I will go ahead and offset from here to there. Offset from here to there. Offset my 90-degree point. Whoops, I missed that. One too many enters. And then my one passed. And let's see, 30, 60, 90, 120. I do need this one. I didn't do that yet. And you can see that that's starting to slow down, if you will, got closer together for the turnaround. And there's my circles, and now I will go ahead and do the extend to the first circle with this line, and extend to the second circle with this line, third circle, that line, fourth circle, that line, fifth circle, that line, sixth circle, that line, and I'll just keep going. I could have stopped and did the mirror thing, but I screwed it up the first time I tried it, so we'll just do what's working. And there's our parabolic motion. Again, I will do a spline from here, start my tangency direction off horizontally, and I'll go through this endpoint and that endpoint. That's okay, that intersection, it wasn't a tracking angle. And the final point, and I'll set my end tangency to horizontal. And there is my parabolic cam versus my harmonic cam up above. Again, not much difference. What I'll do is I'll pick this and I'll change its color just to something real noticeable. And then I'll copy that from the center to the center. And you can see that we haven't jumped up or accelerated quite as far. We're just a little bit less. We're still at the same point, roughly at 90 degrees. We're definitely at the same point at 180 degrees, but we've smoothed that out a little bit with the parabolic motion versus the harmonic motion. So that's parabolic motion.